Yo, SojuTalk Nation! On this week's episode, we'll be covering Fuego releases from Alexa, AB6, Yunho, and Epik High. We'll also be cooking up some spicy news coverage, including SM boy group auditions and CJ ENM and n.CH conflict over TOO. So prepare your body, turn up the volume because we coming in hot. Hit me with that intro. Hey, what's up everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot at K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 122, and we're recording on Monday, January 18th, 2020. I'm Doug, and joining me today we got Warren.
Hey, what's up everybody?
And Anita.
Hello.
And as a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation. Alright, announcements. We have some, a weird set of announcements this week. There is now a SojuTalk Nation podcast. So It is not by us. It is by people in our community on our Discord server, particularly Koala, who's one of our mods, and Crispy, who's one of the notable members of our community. They're making this I wouldn't call it a fan podcast, but it's sort of like a community podcast where they're going to talk about their opinions on the new songs each week, sort of our discussion. They're going to go over our discussions. They had a bathroom discussion, or they mentioned it a bit on their first episode.
Yes.
So please go check that one out. So that's the SojuTalk Nation podcast. I'm pretty sure you can find it everywhere. I know it's on Spotify at a minimum, so there's that one.
YouTube too.
Number two, it's on YouTube as well. Yeah, so if you want to go to our YouTube channel and then click the channels that we also promote or wherever, it's on there. And then the second one is the Dumpster Cast. So that's also from our community. That's by Bagel and Mina. Like its name, the Dumpster Cast is a dumpster fire. They talk about anything goes. It's wild, sort of like Bagel and Mina are. So go check out the SojuTalk Nation podcast and the Dumpster Cast. Boom.
Let's go.
We are now at part 1 of SojuTalk episode 122, where we discuss big new releases, choose a spicy song king, and hit you with the music show winners. Boom. Big new releases. I know we have the rule of 4 right now, but we're covering 5 because one of the artists had a double title track release, so it is what it is. So on Thursday, January 14th, Alexa released Never Let You Go. Monday, today, on January 18th, we had a bunch of releases. So AB6's Stay Young, Yunho's Thank You, and then Epik High's double release with Rosario featuring CL and ZICO, and Epik High's Based on a True Story featuring HEIZE. But let's start at the top with Alexa and her song Never Let You Go. So she is from ZB Label, which is a subsidiary of Zany Bros. She debuted in 2019. Her last 3 songs were Revolution, Villain, and Do or Die, and she has 0 music show wins so far. But before we discuss this song, so they're doing this weird concept now. So essentially, this is a sub-unit for a solo artist.
Yeah.
What? How does that work?
In the description of the music video, it said Alexa H, and in parentheses, it spells out the rest of heart. It says, symbolizing the heart of a human is the code name for the artificial intelligence emotional side, and kicks off Alexa's new multiverse project parts. That's a lot of stuff there. All you gotta know is it seems like she's doing something sort of like Red Velvet did, where there's red releases, velvet releases. I think there's going to be her more typical electronic hard stuff, and then now more ballady stuff at a minimum.
Nice.
Okay, I mean, I've never seen a one-person multiverse. That's kind of interesting.
It's a thing though now. She's breaking new ground there.
Yeah.
Overall though, I was very impressed by her vocals in this song.
Same. Very much.
As I said before, all of her other stuff is really electronica, bass heavy, powerful.
Right.
It's it's hype up music, and then to go full ballad afterwards. I'll be honest, I didn't know she had it in her, and I'm really pleasantly surprised with how well she did on this song. What are you guys' base opinions though?
I definitely agree. I think that was my first reaction as well, listening to her sing in this, because I think it felt refreshing as well with this kind of genre, but also her tone of voice was, I don't know, very nice. I thought it wasn't, it didn't seem super typical of what I would expect on a ballad, and maybe it's because she does a range of things and from her debut, very performance heavy, right? But this also showed a very different side of her voice, so I like that she's expanding as far as that.
Martin, that means you go.
It's my cue, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's me. You know me. You know who I am. You know what I like. You know what I don't like.
Yeah.
Ballads. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's good.
I heard the first couple of seconds. I was like, oh no, she's doing a ballad. What's going on? And then the whole like arrangement, which flowed very well. It was very minimal. The kick was a little loud, but besides that, it flowed really well. It was very, very nice. It was for ballad terms, it was very trendy. The whole like arrangement and the focus on the strings, and her voice, like you mentioned, Anita. Whew, man, like it's. I would probably not say it's like traditional ballad material. It's more like soulful, R&B esque.
Oh, yeah.
It has a bit of that Western influence in there.
Yes, I agree.
And that gives it like a bit of a zesty turn, a twist, like it's like adding jalapenos to your pizza, there's
yes.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's
agree.
nice. It's nice. It's a cool, unexpected mix, and I like it. So overall, so far in 2021, my favorite ballad of the year. This is nice.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also thought this sounded like it could have been on an OST for a drama.
Yes.
It's like that scene where, all right, there's like a guy and a girl or whatever protagonist, and then once the other person leaves, they realize they love them, right? And then this song plays. That's what it felt like to me. It would fit perfectly right there, and that's like in all dramas that happens, right? Also, she had to act a lot. She cried at the end, right?
Yeah.
I like some of the production decisions when they had the film reel part, and it sounded sort of old all of a sudden. I like what they did there. That was pretty cool. Overall, with Alexa, I find her really fascinating within the K-pop sphere. So, she's from ZB Label. As we said, it's a subsidiary of Zany Bros. If you don't know Zany Bros, they're one of the biggest music video production firms in Korea, specifically for K-pop. They do tons of music videos. If you go to their Wikipedia page, every year they do like 30, 40, 50 of them, right? Like big ones too. And then they now have this label, ZB Label. She's the only artist, or at least the first one signed under there, right? They went with a Korean American girl, right? Straight up.
Right.
She's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. She's just doing it. And I find her so fascinating because she was in the company. She went on Produce, didn't do that well. She placed in the 60s. And then they're like, you know what? We have faith in you. We're going to still debut you. And then they've been going ham. She's like all over the place for coming from this smaller company in terms of K-pop, right?
Good for her, though.
Yeah, I do feel like her like cultural and ethnic background with like a good mix of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and wherever of Korea she's from. I feel like that puts a lot of unique eyes on her.
Yeah,
puts her in the limelight a little bit.
She's I think specifically strong, appealing to the Western market. She's a co-host of How Did I Get Here with Day6's J, another podcast right there.
That's true.
Also, because she inherently speaks English, she appeals widely to the Western audience. She's strong on TikTok. Social media game is pretty strong because she's just funny as a person. Like, I'm really impressed with how much this label is pushing her. She's all over the place, considering, and I think it's smart because Zany Bros clearly has connections everywhere because they do music videos for almost everyone. So they're really flexing those. Like I saw one, she was doing a choreography video for a Moonbyul song, and then at the last refrain, I can't even pronounce her name. Moonbyul came out and danced with her, and I was like, all right, that's clearly a connection going on there. She was also on some kind of PSA song where Dreamcatcher and other people were on last year. Like ZB Label's going ham with investing in Alexa, and I kind of like that.
Yeah,
I like that. You know those companies that are like, oh, we don't have enough time, we don't have enough money for this.
Yeah,
yes,
they going hard.
This is
Overall, though, it is a ballad, so there's not too much to go over. Overall, though, it exceeded my expectations. I didn't even know we were getting a ballad because I didn't see any pre-promotional stuff, and when it happened, I was kind of okay with it.
Same. It was nice.
All right. Let's move on to the next song, though. So today on Monday, January 18th, we have AB6's Stay Young. So they are from Brand New Music, debuted in 2019. Last three songs were Salute, The Answer, and then they had a bunch of those solo songs they did individually. And they have 7 music show wins so far. All right, Stay Young. I I like the song, right? I think it's nice. I think it's sort of uplifting. I kind of like what they did with it. I found it a little bit light though. I have light.
Oh, light. Oh,
opposite of heavy, light, sir.
Okay. Yes, antonyms.
Another thing I really liked about this is that they held the choreo shots along, but I found that concerning too, which I'll explain after we talk about the song, right?
Okay.
So, Warren, I need to give your initial impressions of Stay Young first.
Okay. I mean, I actually liked it. I actually liked it a lot. It was a little light, I'm not going to lie, but like it felt light in a good way where like it flowed really well. You know, it felt like I was eating naengmyeon. Do you guys know what naengmyeon is? I'm making a lot of reference today.
We're gonna talk about food at the end of the pod, so why as well get started.
Okay, well here we go. They're cold buckwheat noodles. That's what they are, right?
It's refreshing.
Right, very refreshing. That's the vibe I was getting. And like, you know how when you eat those in the winter, it's kind of chilly and you're eating something cold, but like that feels nice. You know, like you don't know that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the vibe I was getting. I liked it. And there was a lot of like accidental chords that just played really nicely into, you know, all the transitions. So that was pretty cool. It was overall a very solid track. I liked it.
Anita?
Yeah.
I think I might have like a very mixed reaction to this because obviously it sounds very different than Salute, their most recent other song.
Yeah, Salute was like that marching band dark song.
Yes.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, I was pretty positive on that one. I think I liked the concept they were going for. It made sense. For this, I feel like it was again another switch up, and there were some bits of the song where they do like accents on like strings or horns. I don't know what it is. The instrumentation was very interesting. Yeah. And something about it made me feel like, oh, this sounds nice, but I wouldn't have expected this type of sound in the I would say like the more wintry season, I would say. And maybe I'm the opposite of what Warren mentions, but I kind of thought this was more of a summery, warmer vibe. Which I don't know, maybe that was what was bothering me.
Anita, are you the type that doesn't eat ice cream beyond October?
No, I do.
Well, I mean, that's what you sound like now. It sounds like you don't like ice cream or cold drinks past October. Oh.
No, I honestly don't know what it is. It might be like the strings or horns, whatever they are, the accents. I wrote that
I like the instruments, guitar, and orchestral stuff. I wrote that though. I liked it though. Just say it.
I was gonna say
it does feel a little summery though. It does, because like if you think about the summer, right? Like you're thinking about like exciting guitars, you know, brass and all these like exciting instruments. And this is being used here with like these people are wearing like thick fur coats. So like that does feel a little.
I felt like the whole point of the song was even in the lyrics, one of the lyrics is it will be all right, and like something like, oh no, wake up this night, fly way up. Those are like some of the lyrics of this song. They're going for like an uplifting, positive thing because we're in this weird world situation, obviously. All right, let me pivot now. What I found concerning, right?
Oh boy, here we go.
The production value is kind of low, guys.
CGI.
If we're gonna be real honest, there was only 2 real sets, right? So they rented out Everland, which is a theme park in Korea, at night, right? That was the majority of the music video. And then at the end, they had a green screen, like rubble thing with the flower scene, right? Those are like the only 2 sets we got. Even in terms of the way they did the cinematography, they held some of these shots without moving the camera very much. Like they just held these choreo shots for so long that I was like, is this just the choreo version of this music video? And I know I'm a stickler for showing choreo, right? But I felt like it was just kind of, the camera was just kind of there for like, it held for so long. Did anyone else feel that?
You want those HEIZE music videos where there's 9 cuts per second, that kind of
thing. Well, not that. I just want like different angles, you know, like some kind of dynamics going on. It felt very static.
I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you. I didn't notice it when you first mentioned it before we started recording. But I checked it out when we were doing the audio test earlier, and I was like, okay, I can see where the concern is now.
Yeah,
maybe
my
on Vibe.
concern
Yeah.
is that like brand new music might not be spending a ton of money anymore. The second thing I noticed was at the end they do the CGI roast thing with the rubble. It was really
Tulip, yeah.
the tulip. It was really fake looking. Number one, right? And then when we went back to them, they did a fake fireworks scene, and the firework effect in the sky, like at certain points, they pan the camera, right? So if we're doing fireworks and stuff, the fireworks should move in relation to the camera in a realistic way. It looks wonky. Like it looks like there's a green screen and it's moving like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Okay. So to put this into context, I just looked this up, and I probably should have before we started recording. This is apparently a repackage of their third mini album.
True, yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Right. I had no clue that they were doing repackages of EPs now. That's a thing. But it's quite long, 13 tracks. But maybe they were like, it's a repackage. Might as well save the cash,
It might be like that because I was talking to other people on the Discord and they were like, "Oh, we didn't know this was that like the A track, what they're doing like right now, type deal." Seems like a lot of people were caught off guard with this.
I mean, it did seem a little quick on the foot of a salute, didn't it? Like
overall,
that was last.
Their whole situation's kind of strange, right? So,
okay.
I think everyone remembers them initially for obviously being on Produce, and then they did Breathe and Hollywood. Those were like the big tracks that everyone knows them for, right?
Right.
And then they did some stuff in the middle. Then they decided to do 4 solo tracks, and it's like so this is similar to what happened to We Play D&D on our server. Don't split up the party. You know what I mean? Like you don't do that. And they split up the party and they did 4 or 5. Oh, it was 5 at the time. 5 music videos. It's like you're drawing the attention too far out, right? That's the problem there. And then right before they released the answer, it's Youngmin, right? He's the member who left because of controversy.
Yeah.
And then they did Answer, and that was like the boyish song, right? And then they instantly pivoted to Salute, which was like a dark boy group song. Just the progression has been a little strange as of late, the last couple of years.
Yeah, fluctuating a bit.
Especially because of how hyped they were right after Breathe, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I'm concerned with what I feel is like the lower production value, because it sometimes when they do that, it's an indicator that the company's not investing as hard anymore, right? And that's always never a good sign. I'm not gonna say that yet. It's just like your boy dog, 1% concerned at the moment, you know.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I'm not too concerned because given their company, it's brand new music. This is their only idol asset, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. I'm not sure if we're counting the group with, Bumki and Kanto as an idol group, but this definitely feels like, yeah, maybe they were trying to save money, but I have high hopes that they're gonna, pour the money when they need to.
Is it interesting to you that they don't do more hip hop theme stuff, considering it's like a hip hop company at its core?
Brand new music?
Yeah.
No, that's a pop company.
It is? Okay.
It's a pop company that does a lot of pop rap, pop hip hop, pop.
All right, that makes more sense.
Right,
also,
right.
Where has our boy Eun-sang been too? Like.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he did a thing in August, but like after that solo, like he kind of went MIA as well, right? So
interesting. Yeah.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see.
Overall, though, not my favorite track for Maybe 6. I really like. Maybe that's just because how good Breathe was, right? I think everyone thinks that's an amazing song. We'll have to see though, because I still think there's a lot left for them to do. This one just felt a little light for us, I would say. Okay. But let's move on to something that was not light at all. This was extremely heavy-handed in all aspects, right? So we have, in a good way or a bad way, however you're feeling it, it's Yunho's Thank You. So he is from SM, of course. He debuted in 2003 with TVXQ. His last 3 songs with that group were Follow, Truth, and Love Line. He has 48 music show wins with TVXQ. This was like a movie with the song in it, right?
Yes.
It's literally what this was.
Production value.
I first knew something was up when we saw the teaser picture. It was literally a movie poster, right? Like, and then the actors in the music video are Lee Jung-hyun. You might know him as playing one of the evil Japanese guys in Mr. Sunshine. And then
I didn't know.
Yeah, and then Hwan Jung-min, who's of course like a A-list S-tier actor in Korea, one of the biggest actors in the whole movie industry over there. Clearly, they were going for like Korean noir, right? Those Korean gangster movies, like
That is the album.
movie. Yeah.
like New World,
SFG.
things like that.
Right.
I personally really liked the music video. I thought it was cool. I liked that there was a big storyline. It gave you payout at the end, right? It kind of did what you expected to happen. The boy got shanked 7 times at the beginning. Maybe they should have warned everyone at home that he was literally going to get shanked 7 times.
Quite gory.
I like that, though, because I like those type of movies. In terms of the song, though, right?
Okay.
I feel like Changmin and Yunho both like randomly screaming English words. Like that chocolate song and this one, like he at certain point is like, I hate this, right? Like in terms of the chorus, right?
Okay.
He's doing some weird things. It took me a while to realize what he was doing. Thank you for this. Thank you for like. Thank you for me. Thank you for dislike me. That's what he was doing there.
Okay.
It took me like 5 listens to realize he was forming dislike me through the other parts of the chorus. Did you just realize that too, Anina?
I did.
Yeah. At the moment, though, the grammar was horrific there, right? Like,
I was like,
I don't think they really cared about the grammar.
he didn't give any F's about the grammar there.
No.
I at first thought that the song was a train wreck, but I find it kind of catchy now. So I don't know what to think.
Yeah, very catchy.
What about you, Anita? I know you like a lot of things about the whole package, right?
I do. I think I have seen quite a few Korean films with this kind of trope, like quite bloody, like rivals, right?
Elevator fight scene,
Yes. So I feel like I was familiar with it, and I knew that they were doing this in that sense of like trying to do this kind of trope, and it did come off as tropey, like maybe cliche, but I didn't mind it because I thought it was meant to be like that. It wasn't supposed to be like a serious short film. So I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it that they included that. I thought it was really nice. I liked how it worked, like the sets and like the choreo worked together. Like it felt like he was transitioning very smoothly from like acting in this storyline and then performing for the song.
Yeah, I think what you're mentioning there was a one-shot fight sequence that is obviously very reminiscent of Old Boy.
Yes.
Right.
Old Boy goes to the right side of the screen. He's going left side. Old Boy has knives. He has guns. Right. There's parallels though. And right after that, it goes into the breakdown bridge dance sequence thing. Right.
Yes.
I really liked when they did that though. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I like small like references that you can obviously tell like, oh yes, you're referencing this. This is not meant to be original work. Like you're
paying homage here.
Yes.
Yeah. Like the elevator scene
that.
is New World. For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that about the music video and the song, how it worked together. The song on its own, I would agree that there were a couple of bits where I was like a little confused where it was going. Especially for me when he's just doing like the rapping talking bit. Yes. Yeah.
Lesson 1, right?
Lesson 1, lesson 2. But I don't know. I feel like I didn't get used to it until like the very end where I was like, okay, so this is like the thing that he's gonna do. But yeah, so certain choices in like the vocals, the rapping, very interesting. And yeah, I guess I do see that similarity with Changmin's song Chocolate as well.
Chocolate. Warren, I heard you had some words about this song.
Boy.
I don't know. Let's start with something I like.
Okay.
What
did you like? What did you like? Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm a positive human being. I've said this over and over again. Look, I like the intent, like you guys mentioned, right? Like he clearly, it seems like he has a very clear idea of what he wants to do. He wants to pay homage. He brought out the top class S tier actor for this.
Yeah.
Hang Seung-min, obviously a legend. And he has this. He wants to incorporate a new aspect into his musical efforts. And I respect all that. I think that was all great. I think it would have been a lot greater if he was able to pull it off. This is where
Oh.
it falls a little short for me.
Okay.
The song itself. Let's talk about the song. The whole verse thing, rap thing. I don't know if I should call it rap. The chant speaking thing.
Yeah, very interesting.
For the lack of a better phrase, a little cringy.
Okay.
A little corny. Was not into it at all. I did pause it and I had to come back to it at a different point in time to listen to it.
Fair.
So already my first impression of it is not really great. The song itself feels incredibly complimentary to the music video in that aspect.
Yeah.
Especially with the dance break. The dance break is cool. The choreo is amazing.
Yeah.
The visuals in this, they have a lot of beautiful scenes with
Right.
using
Yes.
color and angles and stuff.
Now, without any of that, the song by itself. Yeah. So
It's kind of weird. Kind of weird.
So my take on the music video as well, right? Is I'll think about. Let's put it this way, right? Like, let's say I'm an American rapper, you know. Let's say I'm a new rising Lil Sausages or whatever, you know. That's
Little
What?
sausages.
No.
Little sausages. Okay.
And then somehow maybe I had a lot of money, maybe I have a great company. Don't stop laughing. I decide to bring out Kendrick Lamar as the featuring artist. Decide to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The
Well,
problem
let's put it this way, or you have Denzel in your music video, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think
Something
that's
like
more.
that.
Yeah.
That's more accurate. Yeah.
Yes.
The problem there is my guest featuring artists are gonna overshadow me a little bit.
Okay.
Right. That's where I'm getting at.
I feel like it's not quite comparable in that case though, because in this hypothetical scenario, right? You're the rising star, right?
Right.
Yunho is not really a rising star.
In terms of singing, maybe.
So I think
In terms of acting, I know he's been acting for over 10 years at this point. But I would argue he's had a couple hits, a couple misses. And that's where I'm thinking, you know.
I guess what Warren is trying to say, Anita, is that this isn't really for the music; it's for the visual aspect of the package. Is that because because Hwang Jung-min is such a legendary big figure, he's seen steals regardless of if they intend to or not, right? Just because of who he is.
And especially because he's there, it does feel a little cringy in terms of acting as well in certain sequences. Especially in the climax of the music video when he's doing the whole stare down while Hwang Jung-min is just eating a feast. And I get what they're trying to do. I get what they're going for. And it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in other sequences. When he's dancing and doing choreo, that was very cool. That was not cringe at all. And even with the music video, sometimes it feels almost too Kill Bill-esque.
Especially the
We'll talk about
samurai
that.
part where he did the spin at the end of that sequence.
Right.
That was so Kill Bill. You want to talk about more Kill Bill? It is very Kill Bill like a lot of this.
And it's a little distracting. It's a little bit distracting. It's cool to look at, but it does take away from my engagement a little bit because it doesn't transition smoothly into it or anything. It just happens, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess they're doing that now. And then, you know, these various different things play into each other, and as an end result, I'm like, okay, maybe not the best thing I've seen from Yunho.
Do you want to know the connection between Hwang Jung-min and Yunho? I know the connection.
Oh.
No, I have
They
no
were
clue.
in a movie together that came out in 2014, 국제시장, or Ode to My Father.
Oh, yes.
That's the connection because that movie is more or less a story of this guy's whole life, but it's more or less paralleling the history of Korea, right?
Yes.
Essentially.
Right.
And at one point, the main character, who's played by Hwang Jung-min, they anti-age him, so he's young in the scenes, right? He's in Vietnam at one point, and he runs into Yunho, who's playing Namjin, who's a really famous singer in Korea, who went to the Vietnam War. So that's the reference. So that's how they know each other,
Yes,
is
they were
through that movie.
comrades.
Played
in there.
Namjoon. Oh
He
my
played
God.
Namjin, and he saves the main character. Well, spoiler, sorry, but he saves
It's a
him.
great movie though. Watch
It's
it.
It's a
Ode
great
to My
movie.
Father's an amazing movie. Go check that out. But like that's the connection between the two actors. There.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So overall, though, I enjoyed it. I take it for what it is. I really like the Russian roulette scene, a la Dream Hunter.
Oh, it scared me.
It's not Dream Hunter, Deer Hunter with Robert De Niro. There's a very famous Russian roulette scene. I think that's what they're calling to there. I like all the respect they pay to all of these famous noir / action
That was very
films
cool. That was
throughout
very
the whole thing. I do agree that the song sometimes feels like it's more just like the OST to a cool movie or like an action sequence or something. Like it borderlines there. I think.
Yeah, I could see that.
Also, a lot of people just want to see a music video, not a 7-minute film, right? It's another thing I could see I saw some people saying. Overall, though, I'm biased towards Yunho because I've liked him ever since he's been in TVXQ. He was my bias in that group back in the day.
Oh, really?
He's also like a reoccurring person in I Live Alone, which is one of my favorite variety shows. He's like he's a part of like the Friends group that shows up once in a while. Overall, though, I think this is one of those songs where like I don't think it's an amazing song, but I find it really catching just because of how weird it is. And I'll probably come back to it.
Okay.
All right, though. Let's move back. Well, let's move on, not back. Let's move on to probably the biggest releases of the week. The long-awaited return for Epik High. They have 2 title tracks. Rosario featuring CL and ZICO, and then Based on a True Story featuring HEIZE. Those are massive features. Like S-tier features.
Big names.
So they are now from Endeavor, which is under WME, which is one of the biggest, I believe, agencies in the world in terms of talent. They debuted in 2001. Their last 4 songs were Love Drink, Lost One, Love Story, and Home is Far Away. So that is their last stuff was released all the way back in 2017. So we have been waiting for them for like 3.5, 4 years at this point.
Sleepless and Blank came out in 2019.
Oh, 2019? Okay.
Yeah.
I was a little wrong with that. But it's been a long time for them. Rosario. Let's start with Rosario. This is fuego, dude. This is fire, right?
Yes.
Oh my god. Just the vibes of this song are next level. They sort of have like a flamenco, western, mariachi standoff vibe going on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like the guitar and the horns.
Right. Like a Robert Rodriguez film type vibe going on. That's how I sort of felt it. The swag level is through the roof, right? You get Tableau at the start. He's doing his thing. You're like, all right, Tableau still got it. He's still cool, right?
Of course.
And I didn't read who the features were. I did not know before I watched this.
Oh.
I turned on.
Man.
All of a sudden, CL comes in, and I'm like, oh, Lord. Like, oh, God. And then ZICO comes in after her, and my mind was blown at that point. And then Mithra comes in. Some people on the Discord say I look like Mithra. You know, that's
I
been a
love
thing.
the scenes, though.
You haven't heard that before, Warren? People say that. But all right, Anita, while Warren tries to recover, Anita, what'd you think of Rosario?
I really liked it. Like you mentioned, they do this very interesting thing for the filming of it, where it's very vertical, right? Almost like I would say like a phone type of dimensions, and it's very.
Born Hater.
Yes, Born Hater, 2020, 2021. Oh dear. But yeah, I love the features. I thought I feel like the way the features were distributed, like CL in the chorus, ZICO with his verse, it worked so well. I feel like the fact that CL is in the chorus, and oh my god, I can't remember exactly her line, but the way she delivered it and the fact that it's her saying it.
It's written on the script, all of her lines, because I thought they were the best part of the entire song.
Exactly. I just feel like it has so much more meaning and power. I don't know. I feel like definitely very well chosen and very well distributed how they worked in this song.
So some of the lyrics, this is right before the chorus. She says, don't want your prayers, don't want your roses, ain't nobody dying today. That is so powerful. And then she goes into, I'm on my way, I am a legend, I'm here to stay. Like, what?
Yes.
Did it my way, just step on it and that's all the way. When it rains, I'll dance in the rain. You talk a lot, ain't nobody give a bleep what you say. Like,
yeah,
those are powerful lyrics.
Just badass. Doesn't give a F. Just she's out here.
I really like how they did the vertical thing where they're using the space.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know, something about it felt really. I know it's an Epik High thing, right, to do that, but at the same time, it's so powerful just to have the small bit of the screen with them in it. I don't know. It feels like the hallway that they're doing the music video in.
It feels
yeah.
like very focused in on the main people in
Yeah.
each scene, and that was kind of nice. In terms of the track itself, right? Like to be frank, even though I'm the hip hop enthusiast in the room, even though that is the case, Epik High hasn't been exciting in the past couple of years. They've been OGs. They've been they're honestly living classics at this point, right? Like albums 1, 4, 5, 6 classics, hip hop classics, right there. And that was great, but like in the 2010s, I have felt like they were slowly falling into a cycle of mannerism where they're kind of repeating themselves over and over a little bit. And that kind of emotion peaked with the Sleepless in Blank EP, where I was very sadly let down. But here, it feels very aggressive in a I don't give a F way, which and that's very nice. That's very cool. Production's on point, very clean. Tablo especially, like people usually consider him to be a rapper who's like good at writing lyrics, but like has like boring flow. That's what people have said for the past couple years, Anita. That's what people have said as the poor part about Yolkut. What's Yolkut in English? His solo album from 2010. That's a thing. Anyways, here that is totally not the case. Treza's on his game. Tablo's on his game. ZICO, obviously, you've seen him in the last couple of years. He's on his game. Shout out to Kunde. But it's solid. It's a very well-made track, and I love it. I dig it. It's great.
Wait, you said Cheja. Is he in this?
Sorry, I meant Mithrajin.
Yeah, I was like, yo, my doppelganger. Bro, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
No, Anita, he has sort of that like dad vibe, like in the Korean pop, like Gen Public,
God.
right? No, because he was
Really?
on the Return to Superman show with his daughter Haru, and even on the podcast he's
no, yeah, Tablo, yeah.
Right.
Tablo.
I thought you meant Mithrajin for a
No,
second.
not Mithrajin. No,
Yeah, I was
Tablo.
really
Tablo's like the cool dad. That's like his vibe, right? Like, and people, I agree with Warren that some people were like, does he still got it, right? He's like mellowed out a lot since he's had a kid, right?
He did have a couple controversies in the 2010s, right? With the way he ran a company. And then he had a whole this thing with Super B and whatnot. But like, I mean, as long as you're putting out good music, I ain't complaining. And this is good music. So, I mean, like, let's go.
Okay,
like,
let's talk
school.
about ZICO too. Dude, that guy was swagging. Oh my goodness. Dude, let's be real. ZICO, on a Korean standard, is not like the best looking guy in the world, but boy is he attractive. Let's just say that. You know what I mean, right? Like, bro, he must have filmed this before he went to the military.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
That's most likely
Still
what
has
happened.
hair, so yeah.
He was fuego. CL, that I think CL had the strongest like impact on me. Just the
Yes.
lyrics alone there
Same.
was so memorable. And then Tablo and Mithra just doing their thing. Like this was
okay.
an
For me,
awesome
Tablo was the
package.
most memorable. It was the first time I felt like he was pissed off, but like he's not like angry. He's like
It's like we doing like they were basically putting their foot down and saying like we ain't dead, we still here.
right.
He's
It's
still
like
awesome.
it's like guys, like 20 years in the game, it's still the same like the same BS. Like, are we really gonna do this? Kind of pissed off, not like I'm angry, pissed off. Like, and that's an attitude not a lot of people can pull off. So that was great.
All right, let's pivot to the second title track, completely different, right? So
Right.
based on a true story featuring HEIZE. Bro, the HEIZE's vocal quality is just piercing, right? Like
Really like it.
Oh my
Ear
goodness.
piercings.
not you know what I mean, like you listen to it and you're like, oh god, she's so good, right? Like I'm really happy she's in P Nation now, right? It's allowing her to do all these cool stuff.
Wait, HEIZE is in P Nation.
Yeah, bro.
Oh right. Oh my. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh
Bro,
my.
P Nation is popping off.
P Nation is where it's at.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Sorry. Let's go on.
The combination of bass, piano, and then a little bit of violin and a tiny bit of like something that sounded a little bit like an accordion towards the
Yes.
end. It just
Breath.
played so well. And I don't listen to a lot of hip hop, but for them to be rapping on like a actual bass, not just bass in the song, you know what I mean? Like the sounds from an actual instrument bass.
Like a double bass.
Like a double bass. I thought that was so
Yes.
cool. And it worked really well with the song overall.
I would
Anita, would you-
almost. I was
Oh,
gonna
you
say
go,
that
Anita.
for the instrumentation, I kind of found it very reminiscent of like tropes in tango, with the accordion, the bass, the rhythm, and I thought
Right,
it was really interesting, especially with the imagery and everything about the music video, I thought like, oh dang, this is very very much in line with the song, like very like melancholy.
Right.
I
That
don't know,
like
it worked so
syncopated
well.
samba
Yeah,
rhythm, you know,
yeah.
like like. Oh, that was pretty cool. I wasn't super into it, to be frank. To be honest.
Really?
I not that I don't like it. No. I don't hate it. Oh my goodness, Anita. No. I like it, but like I was not
Born
that
hater
into
over
it.
here. Yeah.
I'm the high school. Shut up. Look. I just so this directly goes in line with their more like melodic, pop heavy, like ballady tracks.
Yeah,
right? Like,
they do things like this quite often.
right. This is the two things they're good at in terms of single cuts is hard hitting drums, hard hitting old school stuff, and then very pop heavy, ballady alternative hip hop. And this is clearly in that second light, which follows the tracks like Umbrella featuring Yunho. And this is in that line. But I felt like it was a little boring, just a little bit.
Really?
Yeah,
It takes boring to know boring, right?
Oh.
Again, I am the high school here, so please. I realize people probably don't know what that is. That is their fandom name. So there you go. Look, I think in one of the problems I've had with tracks like these is that it follows a very standard set of equations. And it feels like they're trying to break out of it a little bit with the instrumentation and the lack of drums and whatnot. But I still feel like at its core, it's the same old. Bring on a female vocal. It's sad. Tableau raps. Female vocal again. Mithrajan again. Female vocal again. Which at the end of the day, sure, it's I'm laying out the very foundations here, but it does feel like we've done this a little bit too much at this point. And
I could see that, honestly, because this felt like a very Epik High song to me.
Right, we've been doing this for a bit over a decade, so like like that's where I'm like, I could listen to.
Hey
stuff.
man, I still liked it though. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing. That being said, I do prefer Rosario over this one.
Okay.
What about you, Anita? Do you have a preference?
I actually preferred this one based on a true story.
Okay.
Because I think the instrumentation, first of all, I thought it was very nice, and I liked how it was incorporated into like the scenery that they had. Also, they did this music video in like I don't know what the ratio is called, but it's like an old film type, right? Like more of a square, right?
Super 8, right? Like,
yeah. Which was interesting. Which I feel like they're also doing that again, where like they force you, I guess, to focus on like a very, very small space, like a very constricted. But I think it works because it feels like the shots that you get are very well thought out. Like you can't just put like extra stuff. You just have to focus on one thing. I don't know. I thought it fit the song. I think the message behind it, the melancholy vibe to it, was really interesting as well. And I don't know. I guess maybe I tend to like those type of songs from Epik High, and this is that type of song. And I do get it. It is a bit of a formula, the way they do it, but I kind of like that formula.
One reason where I think I might be a little biased is this. So this is part of the first part of their album, their 10th studio album. 10th studio album.
10.
I know, crazy. So the rest of the album is a little more towards Rosario. It's a little more like heavy hitting hip hop stuff. And tracks like 4, 5, 6, 7 in particular. I'm looking at the track list. With like stuff like In Self Defense is like a direct, it's the next in line from Born Hater to No Thank You to In Self Defense here. Like these are the kinds of tracks we're getting. So in terms of the entire album, it does stick out a little bit, as in like, I am here because we needed the single cut that needs to sell. And I appreciate that. It's not that I hate that or dislike that. It's just, it does stick out. That's where I was a little disengaged a little bit and found it a little taken away.
Okay. All right. Other releases this week include Down's Free Flight, Elast with Dangerous, Yubin with Perfume, Kangta with Cough Syrup. Yo, sip that lean, Kangta. And then Stray Kids, IN, who's also, his real name is Jongin, with Mangne on top. That one's actually really good. That was we let our Harold's homies decide the fourth song, and they chose Alexa over that one. So that is how we got to those four this week. But we are now at Spice King. So each week, the SojuTalk crew will decide which song reigns supreme. So we will evaluate the chart in terms of song quality, spice, and listener fatigue. And songs that place number one on the Soju chart will be declared this week's Spice King. So the Soju chart from last week, episode 121. First place went to Treasure's My Treasure, and they picked up their first crown. Taeyeon's What Do I Call You was in second place, and Rain x JYP Switch to Me was in third place. And the candidates, of course, are Alexa's Never Let You Go, AB6's Stay Young, Yunho's Thank You, and Epik High's Rosario, and also Based on a True Story.
Okay.
Mine is very straightforward this week, right?
Is it?
Same. I would say so too.
I have Rosario, Epik High's Rosario first.
Okay.
I have
All right.
Epik High's Based on a True Story second. And in third place, I have Treasure's My Treasure.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna differ too much, actually.
Oh, I'm in the minority. Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay,
really?
let's go. Go, Anita. Go, Anita. Go.
Oh, well, I just switched the Epik High songs. I had Based on a True Story as one, Rosario second, and then Treasure in third.
Okay. Well, I also have Rosario in first. That's the overlap I have with y'all.
Yeah?
I have Stay Young by AB6 on second.
Whoa!
And then I
Okay.
have Never Let You Go by Alexa on third.
Whoa!
That's surprising. I did not expect that from you, Warren.
I did not expect that from you.
I guess I'm surprised too. I don't know.
I
You
mean,
know what? You know what?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, Rosario has 9 points, right? All three of us. It has swept the first place votes. Rosario is going to be in first place, regardless of what anyone wants. So shout out to Rosario. Second place, right, is definitely going to be Based on a True Story. So we have a Epik High sweep of first and second place. So shout out to Epik High.
shout out.
Awesome songs from them. Third place is where it's going to get interesting, guys. So we currently have 2 songs stuck with 2 points.
Okay. What are they?
So it is the one Warren wanted, AB6's Stay Young, and we also have Treasure's My Treasure. They are both dead.
Because you guys put them on third each, right? Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I can be
boy.
convinced.
Ooh. Doug.
Hey. Think about Stay Young. Think about what I said. Have you ever eaten strawberry ice cream on December 23rd?
23rd.
I don't know what day I ate ice cream. It's
Okay.
I like ice
Okay.
cream though.
Have you had ice cream during the winter?
Yeah. It's whatever.
It's a little chilly, it's a little cold, but you still dig into it. And
I mean, I ain't going outside and eat ice cream. I would eat it inside, dude.
You know what? You are totally right, sir. Whatever you say. It's warm, it's cozy, so you bring out the ice cream and it kind of chills up your insides and you kind of dig it, you know? That's what that is. That's what that is.
What about you? Okay, Anita, why should I leave My Treasure in third?
Well, like we mentioned, this has been more of a return to the sound that I was hoping, and I think you mentioned it as well, that Treasure would have. It seemed way more appropriate to their age group, very colorful. The production value of the video is also amazing. And Bangjaedom's high note. Remember that?
I have a refute and a rebuttal. I have a counter argument towards that. Am I allowed to speak, sir?
Is this debate?
Am I allowed to speak, Mr. Douglas?
I mean, I was gonna let you finish, but you know what? We're keeping My Treasure in third place, sir. I don't really care.
There we go.
So we have 3 songs from artists who are at least at one point in YG, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
That's true, right? So
That's
because
true.
Epik High used to be in YG. So the Soju chart for episode 122 is Epik High getting first and second place. So Rosario will pick up its first crown. Second place, we have Based on a True Story. And then in third place, My Treasure is going to move from first place down to third place. So shout out to the Soju chart from this week.
EPIK, fly.
Double releases actually worked out for them because I think both songs give you very different things and were both good.
That's how you do double releases.
But finally, we're at show winners. Anita, hit us with them.
Yes, so for the past week, we have BTS's Life Goes On swept up an award on Show Music Core. So their total for this song is 9 wins. And then we have NCT U's 90s Love, so an award on Music Bank. So that's their second win for 90s Love. Then we have Rain with JYP, Switch to Me with their first win on M Countdown. And then aespa's Black Mamba had another first win on Inkigayo. First win ever for them.
That is their first one ever of their career.
Yes, so congrats to them.
All right, let's just
promoting.
Not really. Let's just low key win Inkigayo with our first ever win, like after our promotion
that's still
cycle.
Really good though.
Right. Yeah.
If you look at this week, it's really strange, right? So Dynamite did not get that final win it needed to, I think, beat the record or tie the record or whatever. No, they needed to get it to win the record, I believe.
Yeah. Right.
So that was that. 90s Love. How did they get a win now, right? Like it's been so long. Rain JYP, that one makes sense to me, and then aespa all of a sudden Black Mamba, right? So interesting. We got some news out of these music shows though. So the first one, YG Entertainment returned to M Countdown for the first time in over 4 years with Treasure's appearance on the 14th.
Okay, wow.
That's pretty significant because, you know, Mnet and YG were not friends for a long time, right? Now they're okay with each other, it seems. Finally, the show will be changing their criteria for winning its program by removing the 5% from pre-vote and moving it to live voting, which will now be at 15% of the overall score. This really hurts international fans as live voting requires a Korean phone number, and previously pre-voting did not require anything. You could just do it.
For reference, I understand why they're doing it, even though it's a little frustrating for us. I know people were using like VPNs to like bot and then, you know, manipulate votes that way. So I understand why they're doing it. That being said, I wish there was a way people like us could participate. Like, I don't have a Korean phone number, you know?
Yeah.
Before we keep talking about this, Dynamite needed one win to tie the record. So
tie. Okay.
Right. Shinzo at 31st.
Yeah. So
and then Dynamite 30.
If we talk about what they're doing here, it really hurts groups such as like Dreamcatcher, Luna,
right?
Maybe ATEEZ a bit, right? Who have really big international followings. Kinda sucks because the show is pretty much where a lot of because it's the one on Tuesday on SBS MTV. It's where a lot of people pick up their first win because you can get a high fan vote and then you can translate that into winning it. Kind of sucks, especially because Dreamcatcher's coming back real soon, I believe. So
right.
Yeah, that sucks for them particularly. All right, but we are now at the end of part 1 of SojuTalk episode 122. We'll be back after a short break, and you can listen to Anita's CF. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 122, where we discuss recent K-pop news and events and give you the state of the nation. All right, news. This one's pretty significant. So, SM boy group auditions. So on January 17th, SM announced the 2021 SM new boy group audition for an upcoming future boy group. Auditions are open from January 16th until March 31st, and they are seeking males born between 2002 to 2008. Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh man.
SM stated that they are looking for individuals who can show potential as an artist through singing, dancing, or personal talent, or gengi, as it's known. Those who pass the auditions and make it through the trainee period will be given the opportunity to debut as a member of SM's new boy group in the future. In terms of male groups, SM previously debuted HOT in 1996, Shinhwa in 1998, Fly to the Sky 1999, Blackbeat in 2002, Trax in 2004, TVXQ in 2003, Shiny 2008, EXO 2012, NCT 2016, and Super M in 2019.
When was Super Junior debuted?
I missed Super Junior.
Yeah, 2005.
2005?
I'm pretty sure it was 2005.
It is 2005. Sorry for all the Super Junior. Yes.
No worries. Yeah.
I also had this order wrong. Whatever. I don't know what happened. This is a mess.
Close
All right,
enough.
let's talk about this. Boy,
All right. New boy group, 2002 to 2008. Just for the record,
How old are
if
they
your
now?
if your birth year is close to 2008, you shouldn't be listening to our show.
Oh,
Family friendly. We're family friendly, but not that family friendly. Just putting that out there.
I think my pet turtle is older than these kids. I really think so. It's like I got him when I was 10. Yeah, he's about the same age as these kids. But I think it's very interesting. Well, number one, whenever SM does anything with the new group, everyone watches, right? With Espa, it was a big deal.
Right.
I don't know if they've ever done this before, but they are literally saying this audition will lead to a specific boy group in the future, right? Like, from what I know, SM normally is like, we're going to debut a new group. They're from our training system, period, right? They normally just have open auditions throughout the year whenever they want to do it, just to gain more talent. This one seems very specific, though, and I wonder why they're doing that.
Maybe. They're also going to do a TV show where they pit trainees against other trainees. Maybe SM
Within
wants a bit
house,
of that
right?
reality
In-house?
TV show pie. Right. Oh, I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be a TV show or a podcast. Or
The other thing I could think about is maybe they just... So this is open internationally. Maybe they're trying to fill and get a lot of members for the future NCT stuff.
that's where my thought process was going, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you are familiar with the NCT concept and the members right now, there's a bit of a lack of age group that is younger. The two new members that we were introduced to last year, Shotaro and Sungchan, they're both older than the youngest member, which is Jisung right now. So I feel like they're trying to gain younger trainees in the lineup to debut within NCT, possibly. I also feel like it's kind of a staple for SM to do global auditions, but the fact that it's very specifically for a boy group, maybe it fits with NCT's system, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting to think about.
There were rumors that SM kind of never wanted to debut a new thing, and NCT is just going to be an entity going forward.
Yeah, that's still...
So this is why this is a little interesting with this new boy group audition.
I mean, because if I think about SM and the image they have for me, I think of a big, huge group of trainees training every day. That's what I think of. But I guess with their with the ambitions they planned out and the amount of groups they want to be in,
They might need more dudes, right?
Right. I guess they physically need a lot of more dudes for this to be a thing. So that's wild. That's crazy. I guess
It's
I'm
crazy.
curious
That's
as to how
all
many
of
people
all
they're
of a
trying to
sudden,
fight.
fam, right? If they just said SM's doing an audition, everyone would have been they do auditions. They even used to have a weekly open, or at least monthly, something like that, open casting one, where a couple notable people debuted through. But to be so specific leaves us very confused but intrigued, is the way I'll say it. We'll have to see. If you have any other info, let us know, because kind of confusing, right? We don't know what's going on here. Let's move on to the next one. So this is a bit of a dumpster fire. So CJ ENM and n.CH conflict over TOO. So on January 13th, it was reported that CJ ENM has been accused of unfairly removing n.CH Entertainment from their 7-year contract to co-manage TOO with Stone Music after just 7 months. So a tenth of the time, right? Originally, the two companies came together in 2018 to create 200 through Mnet's World Class program. In terms of responsibilities, n.CH was supposed to be responsible for casting, training, management, and promotions of the group, while Stone/CJ would be handling recording, production, and marketing. So there's very clear things as to what they were supposed to be doing.
Right.
The conflict between the two companies has caused delay in TOO's comeback, and there are also reports that payments to n.CH have not been made since August, so to their staff, and it is unclear about the members' financial situation.
Oh no.
A source from CJ ENM stated that the two agencies had signed a contract that lasted only until August 2020, claiming that discussions and negotiations for a further agreement fell through. They stated, quote, all steps of the contract were carried out normally, end quote, and that they hold all rights to TOO. In response, n.CH released a statement acknowledging that the initial contract lasted until only August of last year, but that CJ ENM essentially refused to sign the 7-year management contract even after agreeing to sign it within 3 months multiple times. So to break that down, right? They came together. They wanted to build this group. They signed like a smaller contract until a certain point. And the overarching thing was going to be, all right, after the small contract, we'll sign the regular standard 7-year one. We'll split up the responsibilities. Everything will be hunky-dory, right?
Right.
So to go on, n.CH also stated that they suggested to CJ that they would manage TOO for just 2 years without any financial compensations, so that TOO would reach a stable position after all of this fell through. So they felt so bad that they're like, we'll manage them for 2 years just so that they reach a stable point. CJ rejected this as well, and they stated that, quote, that they will be personally managing them due to changes in their management and in our internal management policy. So they said, because things have changed inside, we want all of it now.
I'm altering the deal. Pray I do not alter it any further.
Yeah, about 10 minutes ago, though, during our break between the two parts, CJ shared a new statement apologizing for not reaching amends with n.CH Entertainment following the contract issues. But they did again state that they will manage all of TOO's future activities. So
okay, so they said sorry, but not really sorry. You know,
Still doing it.
It's just really shady. If you go online and read all of what n.CH did, they released like everything, including like official documents and stuff.
Oh,
It
they have
really
receipts,
clearly
yeah.
states like within 3 months we'll sign the full thing, and then CJ just never did it. And they said like we even sent our end with like our official stamp, just waiting for them to sign it, and they just ignored it. And they weren't like returning their calls, and they were putting them
They
on
were
reads.
ghosting
like,
them.
They were ghosting them.
Oof.
That's not good.
You never ghost. Never do that.
It just like it's so
Tell them
shady.
you're not interested. Jesus, look.
Like CJ's like $1 billion company, right?
Yeah, they're
and
big.
n.CH is not that big of a company, and to do this to them is really shady.
I mean, the moment they say internal policy, you know,
Yeah.
that is just straight BS. That is the equivalent of them saying, we're just gonna do whatever we want because we can, and we're the big company, and you're the small fish, and you have what you gonna do? Sue us? Sue
It
one
seems
of the
like
biggest companies in Korea? You
it's-
can't do that, boy.
It seems like they might attempt to, though, from what I've been reading.
Oh, well,
Regardless of how you feel about the scenario, it obviously sucks the most for the TOO kids,
of
right?
course,
like
yeah.
all they want to do is be K-pop idols, release music. They had a pretty good momentum post Road to Kingdom.
Yeah.
The longer they wait, the less of an impact they get from that. Just like a really crappy situation, right? Like,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
even if CJ wanted all of the contract, they could have been like, all right, let's come to some agreement. We'll give you a couple $1,000,000. You go away now, right? Like, they're just stealing it, it seems. And they're like, well, it's our thing now. GG.
See, the thing is, like, sure, okay, I understand why you want to steal it. I understand why you want this shiny new toy all by yourself. You don't want to share it with your classmates. I get it. I understand why. You have the mentality of a 6-year-old. I understand. Okay, fine. The thing is, the longer you go through this process, the further you're delaying the whole comeback situation.
True.
The
yeah.
worse, the more risky it'll be when they come back. You don't want that. I thought we're all about safe business here.
Yeah.
Why are we doing risky business?
And
I don't
let's
understand.
be real here. A group like TOO is not making CJ a ton of money either, right? Like at this point in their career,
right,
but
right.
they feel the need to really manage all of
So,
it, even
yeah.
though they basically made n.CH run the show, right?
So
to
weird
train
to
them and
pull
do all that.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have monopolies in K-pop. This is why we're heading
Yeah.
this way. We can't. CJ already destroyed a lot of different industries in Korea. This K-pop's next, boys. If you don't watch out.
There's more CJ in the quick takes though. But before we get to that part, quick takes now. Over the week, G-Idol's Hwa charted #1 on Genie Daily in Real Time, Bugs Daily in Real Time, and also Melon Real Time, and #2 on Flow. The music video also racked up around 18 million views in the first 24 hours. And on January 15th, Hwa reached #1 on iChart for the first time in their career. It was at #1,
wow.
and then VVS beat them for a little, and then Hwa came back, and I think VVS is now back at the top, something like that. VVS is just a monster in terms of
still.
charts. So shout out to G Idol. They're doing some good things. I like it. I also listened to that full album. It's really good. I forgot the name of it off the top of my head, but I highly suggest everyone go listen to it. I don't listen to full albums all the time.
It's pretty rare.
But we've been playing Minecraft on our on our realm right now, and I've been mining, so I need background music. So yo, listen to I Burn. It's amazing. It's a really good album. All right. Yesterday, on January 17th, it was announced that HEIZE will release a new song titled DDD Dance or Dance through
The dance.
through Universe Music on January 28th.
Okay.
It was also revealed that all artists under the new platform Universe will participate in a monthly Universe Music project. With each new artist, they're going to be highlighted through a release of a song at specific months. It seems like we're going to get these like promo / collab Universe songs every month from all of the artists on the platform. Weird, right?
That's kind of cool, not gonna lie.
It should also be noted that just 2 weeks ago, it was announced that NCSoft and CJ ENM signed that letter, that memorandum of understanding we mentioned.
Right.
So there is an established relationship between CJ, which owns HEIZE, and this Universe thing. So it's kind of weird. I wonder how PPL it's going, or how like advertisement like it's gonna be.
I mean, at the end of the day, if we're getting like more music and more project stuff and more, experimental stuff with this, I'm kind of excited. I'm not gonna lie.
Let's see how heavy-handed is it. Are they going to like just show them on the phone, or are they gonna say the word Universe 15 times? We'll have to see.
The dance, universe, the dance, universe.
All right, next. On January 16th, Blackpink's Jennie opened up her own personal YouTube channel on her 25th birthday and surprised fans with a cover of When Will My Life Begin from the movie Tangled. That's honestly really ironic, When Will My Life Begin, considering she's at YG. At the time of this recording, the channel already has 3.65 million subscribers.
Oh, wow.
I believe she is the second member of Blackpink after Lisa to have a YouTube channel, but I could be wrong with that.
In the 30 or so minutes since we've started recording, it's become 3.66.
Yeah, so she's just gaining subscribers like at a record pace.
Yeah.
I found that very interesting because I'm really into Blackpink right now. I instantly subscribed to that, so I will be watching all of the Jennie content. All right, this one's kind of funny, I would say. So BTS's Dynamite is now tied with Baby Shark as the second longest charting song on the Billboard Hot 100 by a Korean act at 20 weeks. So yeah, if y'all didn't know, Baby Shark was originally a Korean song, and they converted it to the Western market. So they are both at 20 weeks now, being on the Billboard Hot 100, and the record all time for a Korean artist is held by Psy's Gangnam Style at 31 weeks. Baby Shark, Dynamite. That's like legendary songs, I guess now, right? Next, MLD Entertainment shared that they are working closely with the Cyber Bureau of the Gyeonggi Nambu Police in regards to the recent malicious images of Momoland's Nancy that leaked. So that's good. So they are taking the legal steps there. The next two are kind of crazy. The first one, Airbnb announced of a week of online K-pop experiences starting on January 24th, including mukbang with Monsta X's Juhoney plus IM, beauty with Jamie, bracelet making with the boys Jacob, Kevin, Juhanyeon, and Eric, cooking Korean food with Cravities, Woobin, Sungmin, Hyunjun, and Alan, photo shoot with Dreamcatcher's Handong, dance class with Alexa, photo shoot with Kevin Woo. Each of these experiences is $20 though, guys.
What?
Interesting.
Wait, how are they hosted though? Are they?
It's like an online live stream.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I don't know. Like, you might be the biggest The Boys fan in the world, but paying $20 to watch four dudes make bracelets seems like a lot of money to me.
No, it's an experience. That's the whole Airbnb experience.
But it's Airbnb.
Right?
That's what's crazy.
No.
It's interesting that it's Airbnb.
Airbnb, for those of you guys who might not be very familiar with this, they've been trying to push themselves into the experience market for the past couple of years, which is like lessons and daily, classes and like
stuff
like
a
a photo
tourist
shoot
package thing.
Right. Obviously, tourism is a little dead right now.
It is.
Yeah, they're kind of struggling for the cash.
They're struggling. So I guess that's what they're trying to do.
These
That
are
makes
only
sense.
these are the only events with like an actual K-pop person. There are a bunch of other ones though with not like specifically
yeah,
K-pop
yeah.
people. Like there's choreographers or things like or makeup artists, other things like that. But like I'll be real with y'all. I ain't paying $20 to watch two dudes eat food.
No. It's an interactive experience. You get to also eat your own food.
I get to eat food with Oppa. Okay.
Yeah. You get to
Overall
do
though, you know,
bracelet making.
I ain't gonna shade you. If let's be real, if HEIZE was making bracelets, I might pay $20 for that.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah, if Rocket Punch is doing it, I'm doing it. Are you kidding?
Yo, what if Rocket Punch made like a rocket, like those hobby rockets you could shoot off in the air? Would you watch that, sir?
The water bottle rockets.
Yeah, would you
the
watch that?
2-liter bottles.
I'm sure you would.
I'd
That
watch
being
it. I'll
said,
make it along with
this
them.
is not an endorsement of this, but I'm sure the VODs will be up at some point in the future. Cough. Finally, TVN will launch short form around 5-minute documentaries for the CJ ENM 10 Visionaries starting on January 18th. So the subjects of these documentaries will be Bong Joon-ho, he's the famous director of Parasite, Rain, BTS writer Park Ji-yoon, who has written the scripts for almost all of the massive Korean dramas as of late. Yoo Jae-suk, writer Kim Eun-hee, PD Shin Won-ho, Song Kang-ho, who's a really famous actor, the most famous variety PD Kim Tae-ho, and Blackpink.
Interesting lineup.
Yeah, I'm really interested in these 5-minute documentaries because they're covering like all of the gigantic players in K-pop right now. Not K-pop, in Korean entertainment sphere as a whole. We'll have to see. I wonder how in-depth they are going to be. But in terms of announced comebacks, we have IZ*ONE via Universe on January 28th, CIX on February 2nd. I believe that means Bae Jin-young is now healed, so that's cool. WeI in February, Kim Woo-suk, another solo song in February, CL first half of 2021, and Bobby coming soon. And I think it's going to be sometime like relatively soon. I just don't know when. Bobby getting solo stuff again.
Bobby.
Cool.
Let's go.
All of like the older like names from YG are doing stuff now, right? Like, it's pretty cool.
I guess the new management is letting people do stuff, you know?
All right, State of the Nation. We're going to talk about food, of course, but we could also talk about some other things we've been doing. So your boy Warren sent me some things for my birthday, you know?
Oh.
So
I was hoping you would arrive.
I've been into LPs or like records lately. So Warren sent me the Tyler the Creator Igor album.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. And then he sent me the Logic No Pressure album because I am a big Logic fan. So right there, I will be playing them on my record player. Also, all of you, once what my record player setup looks like once I bought a stand for it. It's still in the mail, you know. Once I build that, I'll take some screenshots, send it to all of you. It'll be pretty cool.
I did kind of ask before I bought those LPs.
Okay, can we talk about this? You asked in the most obvious way I've ever heard in my life of like, what do you want for your
subtle.
birthday? I'm gonna look in our DMs and scroll up and read specifically what you wrote me because it was so obvious that I was like, bro, all right, okay. We were talking about LPs. He's like, how's your LP player? And I'm like, oh, yo, very nice. Better than expected. And then Warren wrote, quote, having fun so far? If you had to pick between number 1, I wish I had better speakers than Bluetooth speakers, or number 2, I wish I had more LPs, which would you pick? And mind you, this was like a couple days before my birthday.
Wow.
I mean, I ain't complaining though. You should have. You know what you should have asked? You should have just asked, "What LPs do you have so far?" That would have been the less obvious.
I know what LPs you have so far, because you told us. You told us what LPs you have.
Oh yeah, you showed us. Yeah.
You showed us pictures.
But yeah,
that's why I didn't get you the album or 7. You know, like because I knew you had those, sir. I mean, yeah, what's up?
I have a lot of them in the mail still waiting to come. Kendrick Lamar, Damn. I have the Blackpink the album. I also got the Taeyeon one. What do I call you?
The new
I
one.
am fingers crossed hoping that IU releases an LP for her upcoming album. Because the one that she released in the past is still at $1,600 on eBay, and I am not going to pay that because that's just stupid.
The thing is, like, I wasn't sure if because originally I wanted to get you better speakers because Bluetooth speakers with LP kind of sounds, not sounds like you're wearing clown shoes with skinny jeans. And I was like, oh,
You'll be surprised though. It sounds actually really good though.
Right. And so I wasn't really sure what kind of Bluetooth speakers you're going off of. So like at that point, I was like, might as well do a discreet job of asking.
I can show you.
Not
It's like
so discreet.
it's kind of crazy. Let me show you the one I bought.
Okay. I mean, okay, I'll be honest. I wasn't even trying to be discreet about it.
Quite obvious that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you only saw the photos of the old one. I bought a new one. Look
Yeah.
how big this is.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
It weighs
what's-
15 pounds.
Oh, wow. Are you gonna do a audiophile review of it?
It's loud. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
There's
a
like
review.
let's put it this way. So there's like different sound modes. If you turn on the bass one, like the room will shake. That's how
Okay,
crazy
yeah,
the
you
bass
never
is.
turn on the bass mode.
No, we turn on the flat one, the normal one. Because
Yes.
yeah.
Or a V-shaped curve, either one.
What I'm hoping is I have the setup back here. I got a bookshelf over there, and I'm putting this on the top shelf so I could
wow.
do like. And since it's wireless, you could have that all going. So that should be pretty cool.
Right. I mean that because those two albums, well, Logic, I sent you because I like, but I did want to send you an album because I noticed in the list of things you have, you didn't have any albums that were like easy listening albums, right? Like something you can just have going on in the background while you just do your stuff. And that's why I wanted to get you Beggarin's LP from last year.
Oh.
Well, 2 years ago at this point, but
It's so expensive.
It's like, yeah,
I looked it up too.
I wish.
Yeah,
I wish it wasn't.
yeah.
All right.
Igor's pretty good too. So
I also started another drama because I know Crash Landing on You is critically acclaimed, but my family just didn't want to watch it anymore. It's called Uncanny Counter, and it has Sejong in it.
oh, 세종이.
Yeah, we love Sejong here at Soju Talk.
True, we do.
I think it's based on a webtoon called Amazing
Another
Rumor.
one.
This drama feels very comic booky. Like the main
Oh.
premise is they end up with this ragtag group of there's a team, right? It ends up with 4 characters, and they essentially hunt like demons and make them go back to the afterlife or something.
Oh.
It's an action drama,
Okay.
action comedy,
Yeah.
more or less. Like they there's fight scenes every single episode, more or less.
Interesting.
I mean, the plot alone kind of sounds like a anime plot,
Yeah, and
but I mean, it sounds fun.
the main actor is Jo Byung-gyu, and he is from Sky Castle. He was one of the Pyramid sons.
Ooh.
If you watch that one. Also, if you watch I Live Alone, he's the one who gets his mustache waxed regularly.
Yeah.
I think I've shown you that clip, Anita. That's him.
Yeah,
though.
I've seen that. It looked really painful.
So he's like how old is he? He's 24, but he always has to play like high schoolers. So he gets his mustache waxed, and apparently the person he goes to is not that good. So they just like rip it off.
Oh
Like,
no!
yeah, it's kind of funny.
Oh no!
Interesting. Okay.
Before we
I
get
started
into
a drama.
Oh, you started what?
Huh?
What'd you start?
It's not really a drama, but I started WandaVision. You guys know what that is?
One.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, how is it?
The new Marvel thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I watched, but it was fun and I liked it.
Is it kind of weird?
Interesting.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of creepy, and I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, it's kind of a thriller, but like
Okay.
it feels funky because most of it's based off of a 50s sitcom.
Oh,
Right, yep,
okay.
Right. Like they were clearly paying homage to certain like specific sitcoms, which I have no idea because I haven't seen 50s American TV. But
Is he like in the full makeup for this, or is
who?
Vision?
Oh, Paul Bettany for Vision.
Yeah.
Kind of. I guess spoiler alert, but like the idea here is like he can change himself and look like a human being whenever he wants.
Oh, okay. I was gonna be
Right,
like,
right.
if they just have him as Vision the whole time, it's gonna be ridiculous.
Nah. It's there are clear points where it breaks out of that sitcom mode and it goes full on like creepy mode, and you're like whoa, like holy, like oh man, like so there you go, you Marvel fans. Like,
So the
I'm
writing's
super
a little
excited for this. Let's
unexpected?
go. Yeah, and it's wonderful in the best ways so far. So this, I mean, Marvel Phase 4 off to a good start, I guess.
Sometimes being like creeped out by something, not in like a disgusting way, but just feeling uncomfortable, it means that they're doing their job well, right? Like,
Yeah.
in terms of the writing and
Yeah.
stuff.
What are those called? Like bumps?
Yeah, and
Hair
when you're
standing up?
when you're uncomfortable,
Goosebumps.
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 Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Anita, what are you doing?
Goosebumps on the track.
Anita.
I've been at a little bit of a pause from watching True Beauty, but
What happened?
I'm still into it. Still trying to catch up. I saw like my sister. I was watching it with my sister, and she showed me an interview of the author that she recently did. Yaongi, I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting because she gave a little bit of background information as like people she looks up to. Like there were fan questions, so she answered like, what is the character based off on you?
She really does look like the character though. Like, let's be straight up.
Yeah, but it's really interesting. So I watched that. That's been pretty much it as far as like TV. Still trying to catch up with True Beauty, but yes, that's it for now.
Do we want to talk about Korean food or all food?
Okay, can I actually begin with my story on that?
Yeah,
Okay.
begin with that.
It's a fairly recent story.
Oh,
In
okay.
fact, it was the reason we began recording 15 minutes late.
What happened?
What happened, bro?
No, I mean it's nothing bad, but I got Uber Eats. I got delivery, and I got Shake Shack.
Oh yeah,
Now
Shake
Shake
Shack.
Shack. SojuTalk episode 120 something brought to you by Shake Shack over here. I got the new Korean gochujang chicken sandwich
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard
yeah.
with the kimchi coleslaw, and I also got fries with the gochujang mayo.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, okay, so this is American perspectives on Korean food, right?
Yeah.
Because clearly I have one idea of what Korean food is. And I know American people, not like Western people have like an idea of what Korean food is. And when I think of Korean food, I think of two key ingredients, I think of the garlicky smell,
Yep.
and then I think of the pepper flakes, which,
True.
Yes.
right. Because
A lot of red things. Yep.
right. The thing is, like, pepper flakes, you expect it to be just spicy and that's it. But like it has this very specific taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was completely missing in the spicy
Oh.
chicken sandwich I had.
Oh no.
It was not bad. I liked it. It was kind of crispy, kind of sweet.
It just doesn't taste like gochujang.
No. It tastes vaguely Asian. Like that tastes.
like Asian Zing at the
Right. No, okay. This is a very specific example reference that only a couple people are gonna get. You guys remember No Tai?
Yeah,
Yes.
no tie.
I
You guys
love
remember
No Tai.
sweet and spicy chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Warren's like saying generic Asian stir fry taste, more or less.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was nice though. It was nice.
Yeah,
The
that's
coleslaw was
not
nice.
bad.
Yeah. The gochujang mayo for the fries didn't feel like gochujang at all, but I mean, tasted good, I guess. I thought it was just ketchup.
Weird. I feel like
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it's not that hard to just buy a tub of gochujang and mix it in the mayo or something, right? Like,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
doable.
it shouldn't be that hard. Like, you just put some gochujang, you get the mayo, maybe a little bit of sugar because Korean stuff has that. Add some garlic, a little bit of vinegar, maybe.
mean-
Boom.
Here's the thing though, like when you use gochujang to make sauce, you never just do it in a tub.
Gochujang
yeah.
is fermented red pepper paste, and you could probably find that at most grocery stores these days. It's pretty widespread now.
Right. And the thing is, when I was first making like stuff like tteokbokki, the mistake was I just mix it in a bowl, put some gochujang, put some soy sauce, garlic, sugar, mix it, call it good. No, that's a mistake. What you want to do is heat it up.
Oh.
You wanna warm it up.
Yeah.
Right. Stir fry it. And then that way,
yeah,
raw
yeah.
feeling, the raw tasting
Yeah.
part of gochujang kind of goes away, and
That's a pro tip. If you put your gochujang, you put a tiny bit of sesame oil in there. You get
Oh, yes, that's
you
it.
get it a little because gochujang in its base is pretty pasty. It's like a glob, right?
Right.
You gotta thin it
right.
out with something. You could thin it out with water, I guess. But why would you do that when you could just add more flavor? Put a little sesame
Right,
oil.
right.
Woo! We having a party all of a sudden. We're having a
You
party.
know what also works?
What works?
You get a little spoonful of butter. And then you
Okay.
melt
Butter.
that first.
Dude, have you had butter gochujang rice before?
Okay.
Okay,
buddy.
Okay, you know.
We're
Okay.
talking.
I'm telling you, yo, go find gochujang wherever you got it, right? Just get white rice. If you don't want to cook white rice, get the new hetban, the instant rice that Koreans are all about. They sell it at Costco these days. Get that. Microwave your rice. Put it in a bowl. Add some gochujang. Add a little knob of butter. Mix that in. It is one of the most delicious things ever. If you want to go next level, take some dried seaweed, cut a little bit of it into it. Boom. We have another party, right there.
Right. Add some corn into that too.
My grandma was the first person. She's here at our house right now. That was the first person who ever made that for me. And she said, like, she remembers that because during the Korean War, right?
Oh man.
So during the Korean War, her family evacuated all the way to Busan. So they were like, that's like the final stand, right?
Right.
I think when she was in college at the time, Iwa was having a remote campus because of the war. That's how bad it was, right?
Ooh.
So she went to Iwa. That's a smart person school. So apparently grandma's really smart,
she's
right?
look at those backgrounds.
And they said they fed them that because, rice is cheap, gochujang's cheap, and then I think the Americans had butter or something like that. Some weird thing like that. And they said they made it, and because it was wartime and things were a little bit not in stock, of course, right? Because we're in the middle of a war. We're trying not to die. And, you don't get butter because that's kind of a luxury. And they said they made that, and it was like the most delicious thing ever, right? Like,
Right.
That just, dude, butter doesn't suck. Rice doesn't suck. Gochujang doesn't suck. You put that all together. Anita, you got to try this. I'm telling you.
I know.
It is so good.
You tried it?
No, I have not.
It is so good, dude.
Right. The thing is, like, there's a lot of like combinations that came out of that era because they had a lot of new Western influences.
Yeah.
Budae-jjigae.
Right. Budae-jjigae is another one.
So budae-jjigae, it's army stew. Essentially, it's like all the Korean stuff. We're gonna put it in one bowl together and boil it. So that sounds bad. So it's like, you put like ramen noodles. You get little hot dogs. Some people put like baked beans in that. You can do that. I've seen that.
You do that.
These days, you put American cheese because Koreans are putting American like cheese on everything these days. You put some cabbage, some enoki mushrooms, right? Some dumplings if you want. You get the gochujang again. You make a yangnyeom. So a yangnyeom is essentially like a base sauce for a lot of Korean things. Some gochujang, sugar, garlic, depending on other things you want to put in there. A little sesame oil. You put that in there. You get some water going. Next level, you put broth in there, like a bone broth. You boil that up. It's so good. Look up army stew. It's
everything in there.
It's amazing.
You missed one key ingredient.
Duck.
No, it always freaks Americans out.
Huh?
Spam.
Which one? Spam?
Oh, spam, yeah.
I think a lot of people are on spam these days, man.
Are they? Because I remember, like, so this is my friend, right? And so my college roommate, a very close friend of mine. You guys know him. He's very much into Korean culture, whereas his parents, suburban white dad, he doesn't eat sushi because raw fish, that kind of deal. And he saw his son make army stew, and he saw spam, and he was like, "Son, do you need more money?" Spam is the lowest tier of meat, and he's like, "Yo, like, Dad, trust me on this one. You gotta try this out." And he puts it in the soup, and by this point, like, the suburban white dad is like, "This is wild, crazy nuts over here." And then he tries it, and he's like, "Wow, okay, these Asians know how to handle Americans."
I mean, spam is from the wartime too, right? That's
I
where
know,
that's
that's
spam
where
in
it's
Korea.
from, honestly.
Spam.
One combination from the war times that is not super favorable. That I've seen my uncle eat. Not that he's from the war times, but he had it because his grandpa has had it. They get chocolate melted up and stir fried with rice. I've tried it. Tastes very bad. Don't do that ever.
Rice, dude? I've never seen that before.
Heard of that.
No,
I mean, chocolate rice.
But it's not crispy rice. It's like
maybe it's like that Reddit meme with rice. You remember that meme where like the dude was just tasting things with rice? Chocolate and rice doesn't sound too bad.
No, it was bad. I didn't like it. It was a bad memory in my childhood. A bit of a trauma, if you will. I mean, yeah. There you go.
A little bit weird. Spam is at a way higher like reputation than it is here. Like in Korea, when there's like you could buy a gift box of spam to bring as like a present when you go home for the holidays. You meeting like someone important. You could if you give them a box of spam, they're like, it exists though, right?
Okay,
I've seen the box that's spam.
But if you're the guy who buys the boxes of spam,
That means you're the cheapest level. You're the cheapest level.
Why would you do this?
I mean, real talk, you gotta bring like the crab box, like the box of crabs, or you bring like the expensive fruits, or you bring the dried fish. If you really balling out, you know. I think the highest level baller, you bringing the meat basket. The Hanu set.
Right.
That's the highest, or you bring like a ton of seafood in the styrofoam box. That's when you're like you rich, right?
Right. The thing is, I know we have a couple listeners in Korea. If you ever need to go to those situations, you need a gift box. And
don't bring the spam.
Don't bring the spam.
Don't resort to that.
Bring the dish soap set instead. Like that's
or the apple box. Bring the apples, right?
Apple box is a little expensive. Get the dish soap set. I'm telling you, that's where it's at. Moms love that.
It's just kind of funny though that there's a spam set though. Like I've seen it even in our grocery store here at H Mart. I think one of Warren's favorite foods is fried chicken though, right?
I thought okay, because last week we were like we're gonna talk about favorite Korean foods this week. I thought about it because like I grew up eating Korean foods and like what is my favorite Korean food consistently, and it's always been fried chicken. I think it has been
forever and ever.
It's not really the most traditional Korean food. It ain't your kimchi bibimbap bulgogi. I get it, but like still, like it's the first meal I had when I was visiting Korea last year. It's the only meal I had 3 times in Korea while I was visiting. It was the first meal I had when I was visiting Korea the time before that as well. And here's the thing, right? Because American restaurants, they usually don't do this, but a lot of Korean restaurants with fried chicken, you can get this thing called banban.
Yes.
Ooh, banban. So ban means half. So he's literally saying half.
Right. You get half spice, half just crispy, and then half sauce, lathered in sauce, I guess. And the sauce is like it's sweet, it's savory, it's a little salty, it's a little spicy. You know, it's kind of like General Tso's chicken kind of tasty thing over here. Yeah. And you kind of you take a bite of the crispy one, kind of juicy in the inside, crispy on the outside.
So Korean fried chicken is typically better than what we get here. One of the things is don't be afraid of it. They do put MSG a lot more than they do here. Monosodium glutamate. Just know that I have studied MSG before. The scientific studies on it. It is not bad for you. It's all a lie that they say it's bad for you.
Yep.
Just saying. It's like a. Yep. It's fake news that is bad for you. It's fine.
The thing is, if you're afraid of MSG, you probably shouldn't go to Asia to begin with.
Everything has it. Everything has it. Like you know, you eat ramen. MSG's in ramen. That's like essentially what's in the packet. Let's see though. Korean fried chicken, that's baller. I think my favorite Korean food is bibimbap. So
that was mine.
It was yours? Okay,
yes.
Okay.
Surprising.
When I was growing up, it was straight naengmyeon. All naengmyeon is, we talked about it earlier, it's buckwheat noodles, so they're brown noodles.
Yeah.
They're in like a beef broth, but it's cold. That's the whole appeal of it. And you add like hot mustard and vinegar. So you're eating, it's cold, it's spicy, it's sour, a little bit sweet sometimes. There's all these weird sensations going on. I know that sometimes American food, like eating cold, savory foods is weird, right? I can see that. I get that argument. But it's so good. If you want to pump it up the next level, you put in the red sauce with a little bit of sesame oil, right, Anita?
Yes.
Next level. So much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I prefer bibimbap over just plain naengmyeon. And the first time I tasted it, I wanted to tell a story because the first time I tasted it was in my first trip that I went to Korea now 2 years ago, and it was in a field trip that we went to, the whole group, and we went to a Korean folk village. And in this, so it's basically like what is it? Like
it's like a whole village where they're reenacting like
reenacting
from like the late 1800s.
Yeah. So there was a lot of like school field trip groups, but they had like a cafeteria area, and it was so hot that day. It was terribly hot. We were all really hungry, and we just had to like get like a food ticket, and then we went and got the food, and you had like two options, but like I it was so hot. I did not want anything that was warm, and I feel like at that moment, bibing naengmyeon sounded so good, and when I tasted it, it was delicious. I think it was like my favorite meal that I had that whole trip because it was so good.
That traditional village in specific is known to have just extraordinarily good food. Like,
Yeah.
because if you're thinking about like tourist attractions, you know, that's basically what that is. They usually don't have the best quality food. Not here, buddy. Like this is like top class, top tier right there. I don't know why.
Yes, it
But
was so good.
here's the thing. Let me open your eyes a little further.
What?
You guys are happy with bibimbap? Nah, boy. This is nah. You're settling for the low tier shit.
Oh,
You gotta
God.
go upper class over here. Have you guys heard of paennaengmyeon?
Yes. Yeah, I know.
I have
It's the
not.
next level up. It's the next level up.
Man.
So,
okay, so there's
kue is Korean style sashimi. More or less.
Okay.
right. And the style of sashimi they use for paennaengmyeon usually is called hongo. And hongo in specific, especially like just pickled hongo, is like it's very. I mean, I just said it's pickled, so like it's very sweet and very like juicy and very just. It's just up there, man. It's just
Not
bibimbap
tried it.
to the next level. You're not gonna get it in America. I'm sorry. It's
I
just-
know.
Actually, no. If you go to Chicago,
Oh,
they have it in Chicago.
okay.
Yeah. So once COVID is over, go to Chicago and eat fish with your naengmyeon.
So, you know, like Korean barbecue, right?
Ah, yes.
I did not eat samgyeopsal or pork via Korean barbecue until I was like 18 or 20.
Oh wow.
My family
Waited
just
quite a bit.
we only ate bulgogi or galbi, so we only ate beef growing up. Like my family doesn't eat much pork, but dude, samgyeopsal, I think a lot of people know what that is. It's the 3-layer
Yeah.
pork thing. It's so good.
Yeah.
Really.
Back when we were in that drumming club, we used to hold gogi parties or meat parties in my apartment. Like next level parties. I would prepare food. Before even Warren and Anita were in that club, we used to hold meat parties in my studio apartment, and we bought a second table so we could fit more people. We once fit 29 people in my studio apartment to have a meat
Whoa.
party.
Wow.
And not only was there meat, after the fact, everyone got plastered. Let's be straight up here. Bro, we used to like, it was amazing that we didn't set off the fire alarm. We would cook
Oh my
like
god.
bulgogi, which is beef. We would cook grilled pork up in here. We would like marinate it and cook it. I'm low key, I didn't make the soup. I just pre-bought it and added stuff to it. But you know, the soup was good. Oh,
You don't
bro.
like soup.
I don't like soup. What am I saying? You know, the soup wasn't good.
I mean, samgyeopsal is like it's like Korean soul food, isn't it? Right? Like
Yeah.
it's the go-to. It's the cheapest form of Korean barbecue that tastes good. You know, and it's so versatile, right? Like it's good without any marination. You know, marination. is
It's
that a
good
word?
essentially because what you're eating is like 50-60% fat. That's like if you break it down.
Fine.
It's
But,
just like
Yeah.
humans crave. Actually, I'm not going to say this because there might be vegetarians in the thing, but humans generally enjoy eating fatty foods. That's just a normal human interaction with food. Even the gogi parties when you guys were around were kind of lit, weren't they?
Yes.
And you know, your boy Doug was
Yes.
forking the cost of them too, so they were free gogi parties.
Very generous, very
as
generous,
long as
Doug.
you were homies, you were family, and you know you could just come to my house, eat as much meat as you want. Wasn't it impressive when we opened the fridge and there's like 10 slabs of meat in there? Like,
We don't need this much.
yo, Warren, you're cutting out whenever you peak for some reason. You're getting like underwatery. Yeah.
Shout out to RCN, my internet provider.
Yeah.
I'm actually moving soon. So I'm gonna get a new internet provider.
okay.
Hopefully they
Okay.
don't cut out. My ping has been somewhere between 30 and 2,000 the last couple minutes. I apologize if my
Ooh.
quality is not good.
Yeah, it's fine for the most part. Yo, but those parties were kind of crazy back in the day. I remember once for my birthday, like you know, the weird thing is I was paying for a party for my own birthday. So let's just say that, right? But, you know, we ate the gogi party. It was lit, right? And then I remember we made waffles with ice cream, too, dude.
Oh,
after
yeah.
the fact.
Right, yeah, that was
I
the thing.
remember that.
Yeah. I remember I
was-
showed up early and you were like, Warren, come see this. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And then you showed me the waffle maker and the waffle mix that you were already making. It was
Yeah,
already
bro.
there. Yeah, and I was like, why? This is like...
We were really privileged because Ann Arbor at the time we were there had 3 Korean grocery stores all within like driving distance. I know at least one of them
Yeah.
has gone under now, but back when we were there,
Yeah.
there were definitely 3 of them, and they
Oh,
were pretty
mama.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the,
the
the
one-
one you and I used to go to closed right after you left.
The one that starts with an M closed after.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good times though. Food just brings people together. I remember another time we were supposed to go to our club's field trip, the second field trip. And at the second field trip, we always go and eat at a Korean restaurant before we go, right?
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
there was getting like, oh, I'll get the bibimbap, or oh, I'll get this thing, right? And then I remember the 3 of us got the hot pot, the Korean budae jjangol. It's literally like a bad. If you look up what it's like a budae. It was like a humongous one, and everyone was looking at us like we were crazy, right? Like, but I was like, bro, let's just do it. Who cares?
I was like,
But-
bro, why would you? Okay, honestly, hot take maybe. If you go to a Korean restaurant, never get bibimbap. Never.
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm gonna just be honest. It's just the worst. It's the most safest option that they know is gonna sell anyway, so they put no effort into making it. It's never been good.
Don't be
when I had it
basic.
outside Korea.
At least get dosa, which is the hot pot version.
Okay,
if you're
yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
get it,
at
at
least
least
that.
get that.
Right.
Additionally, if you go somewhere and you get the bibimbap and they put straight up lettuce in it, you're getting
Oh,
ripped off.
You're getting ripped off, dude.
Oh,
You're getting ripped
yeah.
off if they put straight up lettuce in it.
I have never seen bibimbap with lettuce until I came to America. That is strictly a Western thing. I don't
Yeah.
understand why you'll do it. It's just
You straight up getting ripped off if there's lettuce in yours. That being
Yeah.
said, you know, I think we're lucky. I live in the East Coast. There's tons of Koreans around here. In New Jersey. Warren lives in New York. There's tons of Koreans all over the place. We even have one street that we call Koreatown, though. A lot of Korean restaurants. So we're pretty privileged. Where we were in Michigan, specifically Southeast Michigan, has a lot of Koreans as well. So there is a decent selection of stuff. Ann Arbor obviously had a lot, which like a surprisingly a lot. You remember Panda Restaurant out there? So Panda Restaurant was the Jungkook the Chinese, the Korean,
Ah,
the
oh, yeah,
Koreanized Chinese food restaurant.
right.
And it was ran by this one old dude, right? If it's still there, please go support your local
Right.
businesses.
Yeah.
This is the most cranky
Yes,
ajashi ever. He speaks like no English. Every time I was there, he would make fun of me for my bad Korean and my haircut. I remember, but the food was amazing. And it's this kind of restaurant where like if it's busy, he will tell people to go to the other Korean restaurant because he doesn't want to deal with it being that busy.
Right.
That's the level of guy we're
I mean,
working
but it's
with.
good though.
That place was
But
next
it's
level
good though, you know.
Yeah, so if you're ever in
It's-
Ann Arbor, go eat at Panda. Highly recommend it. One of like the best Korean restaurants in the town, probably.
The thing with like Koreanized Chinese food, right? It's like it's obviously not Chinese food. It's inspired by Chinese food, you know. Jjajangmyeon in specific is black bean noodles, inspired by jjajangmyeon. And we're like, I'm probably exploding again. My ping is at 2,000. I'll stop
Yep.
speaking.
A little
Okay,
bit.
so it's like it's a Koreanized version of a Chinese food. It's 100% Korean. Like you could eat it anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It's Korean food. And then you also have like tansuyuk, which is essentially Koreanized version of sweet and sour, like pork or beef or chicken, whatever you want to call it. That's really good. Gampung seo, which is essentially just like spicy fried shrimp. That's really good. And when you go to those Koreanized Chinese restaurants, it's always, do you get either jjajangmyeon, which is the black bean noodle, or do you get jampong, which is the spicy seafood red
Seafood.
noodle? Warren just did for a second. I think he's back now. Yep, you back. I'm more of a jjajangmyeon guy, you know, because jampong has a lot of hot liquids. I don't do too well with them. I will say though, these days places you could get half and half. That's not bad.
Oh.
Pro tip:
that's
if you get jjajangmyeon, which is the black noodle, and you have a friend who gets the red spicy one jampong, take some of their broth and put it in your jjajangmyeon. It tastes better that way.
Spicy.
You've never heard of this, Warren?
No, that's considered a sin. Why would you do that?
Baekjongwon does this, dude. Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, it's a really common thing these days.
Okay, well, I haven't heard of it. I guess I'm behind the times. I guess
When you
getting
when you
I'll
order
try.
jjajangmyeon at his restaurant in Korea, it comes with the jampong gumul, the soup next to it.
right. You drink it separately.
No,
though,
you put it in, dude. At least some of it, because it keeps the noodles from clumping up. That's the logic there.
I don't. Okay, that sounds a little interesting. I'm the type of guy that gets a little bit of like pepper flakes, like gochugaru,
Yeah.
and then put that in, and then you end up with spicy. Southern
Ah,
instead,
that way.
But like, right. I guess those two are different things. I don't know, man.
No,
Okay.
you're supposed to do both together. That's what they essentially do.
Okay, that sounds a little weird.
Hey, man,
But,
I'll
like,
show you some VODs later of people doing it. It's very common, dude.
Okay.
Warren, you got anything else?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Korean food. Try it. Here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. I moved to America Canada back then for the first time in 2004, I think 2005 or something like that. Am I sounding clear right now, by the way?
Yeah,
Yep.
you're good.
Awesome. Okay. And back then I moved to Canada. Nobody knew what Korea was. I was in Toronto at that point. And people are like, "Oh, Korea, yes. Sony, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Pokemon." I was like, "No. Completely wrong. Completely wrong country." And at that point, people had no idea what Korean food was. And at that point, the Korean government was trying to push kimchi a lot. That was the main like Korean thing that they were trying to push. And to this day, I have no idea why they tried to do that. I'll be very honest with you. Hot take, I guess. Kimchi, if you haven't tried it, I assure you, you don't need to try it. It's all right.
That's a hot take.
all right.
Okay.
It tastes all right. It's good. It's about what you expect. It's pickled radishes. It's like sauerkraut, but
Side
spicy.
dish. Yeah.
Right. The thing is, like, for your random ass Western audience people over here who've never had Asian food, proper Asian food, it's gonna taste weird because it's fermented, it's really garlicky, it's spicy, it looks red to begin with, but it's lettuce. Like, come on, like, that's
Cabbage, right?
right. Sorry, cabbage. not lettuce. It's the worst place to begin with Korean food, and to this day I have no idea why kimchi is being pushed this much. I understand why, but whoever thought of that idea as the natural go-to, poo-poo idea. Don't do it.
So then, I guess in response to that, what do you think it should be the intro Korean food? Like true
Anything
Korean
else.
food. Anything
Korean barbecue, bulgogi, bibimbap, fried chicken, tteokbokki, tteokgochim, like omokguk, udon. Nah, udon Japanese. That's doesn't count. But like anything else, just
Anything else?
I really
Bop,
disagree because
tolongkang.
I really disagree because of the cultural history of kimchi. That's the only reason I would disagree with you.
I totally agree with you, except like you don't. I feel like it's one of those food items that's like it's difficult to leave a good impression on. And now
agree.
it's a bit of a hippie, cool thing. I meant hippie as in hipstery, like not hippie as in hippies. I meant like hip, cool thing to do nowadays, where like people are getting random veggies and they ferment it and they're like, oh, look at my cucumber kimchi. I've seen people do that in Brooklyn and whatnot. And that's cool. I'm glad we're at this point, but like I had no idea why. Like I was one of those kids. My mom would pack me kimchi. I would bring it, and like my friends were like, "Oh, what's that? Let me try it." And then I could clearly tell they were like, "This tastes kind of funky," but they were like, "Yeah, it's nice. I like this, Warren." And I was like, "You don't have to lie to me, buddy. I'm so sorry."
There's a lot of similarities between Korean foods and the other countries that heavily pickle things. Like, you know what it comes down to? Cold weather climates, you need to preserve the food. Like Germans and other Eastern European countries, there's a lot of pickling, a lot of soups. Korea has a lot of soups, and for me, it's like it's not the best thing ever because of my weak mouth. But like, you deal. It's about not rushing, waiting till it's room temp essentially.
If it's cold, it's fine though.
cold
like
is
maybe
fine.
But it's not good if it's cold. It's not pizza, right? Like.
True. Yeah, we're running kind of long this week. Food's exciting. Let us know what your favorite Korean food is, and any other weird Korean foods that you like. My dad likes what is it? Byondegi? Is it the
Bondegi.
Bondegi,
Larva.
which is the
Oh,
silkworm
Fried
larva, and you cook it in some kind of broth thing. My dad likes that.
Yeah.
That was like his favorite thing we ate on our vacation. Kind of weird, but that's his thing. It's just a very traditional thing, and he ate it growing up, so it is what it is. But Korean food is vast, sort of like our rich culture. I don't know what I've tried to say here, but
Spam and cheese.
try. I guess the moral of the story is try Korean food, support your local Korean restaurants because everyone's struggling right now. But next week, Tuesday, there's 4 songs. Gravity, Want Us, Chungha, Very Good. Wednesday, Cherry Bullet. Thursday, Pink Fantasy. They are reducing the mask size of the bunny in Pink Fantasy. I am more confident than ever that it is their CEO under the bunny suit, just saying. And then on Friday, we're getting Saturday, but not the day Saturday. There's a group called Saturday. They're releasing something on Friday. And we're also getting ITZY Not Shy English version, so that should be kind of cool. But and then Monday, Golden Child and Bobby. So we do have the date for the Bobby thing. It's next Monday. It's already happening.
Wow.
So, okay, you just listed off 10 songs. Just a heads up, we're not doing 10 songs.
It's probably going to be some combination, 4 of these songs out of Gravity, Want Us, Chungha, Cherry Bullet, and Golden Child and Bobby. We're going to have to pick 4 out of those, most likely.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But this has been Soju Talk, your weekly shot of K-pop. I hope we made you hungry by now. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Little Sausages himself, Warren, and Anita for joining me this week. It's been fun. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Little Sausages.
Oh my god, stop!
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based, Mina, Jedi, Goku Mama, Jacob, Luke Daniels, Malfiar, NJ Parks, OP, Chris, Tier. Thank you for joining Social Talk, your weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K Music Erday, Koala, Malfiar, Max, No Bias Luna, Tuggles, and Wolf297.